horror games are moving toward a more unsettling and mature direction. These upcoming titles focus on tension, isolation, and psychological strain instead of quick jump scares, aiming to create a slow and lasting sense of unease. Let's get into it.
With trepidation. This place wrong. This place not right.
You say that about every place.
Animal Use Protocol is a first-person survival horror game by the Brotherhood, where players control Penn, a highly intelligent chimp escaping the Anchorage Station research facility with a rat companion named Trip. Gameplay uses stealth, puzzles, scavenging, crafting, and a gravity-based tool to deal with threats, with limited direct combat against mutated creatures. Story details come through data logs and environments that explain the experiments and a deadly pandemic.
You're sure this is the right way?
With indignation, pathfinding, very good. Better than smelly hate. Better than run, run, run. Paralyzed terror. Smelly hate, run. Run, 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 run.
Darkwood 2 is a survival horror sequel set in the Aral Sea region, telling a new story with new characters in a more open and harsh area filled with deserts, ruined ships, and old industrial sites. Gameplay keeps the top-down view and the day and night survival loop, where players gather supplies during the day and defend their shelter at night with new movement options using boats. Development is led by Icepick Lodge, with support from Acid Wizard Studio, continuing the dark and unsettling style the series is known for. The Midnight Walkers is a hardcore PvP/VE zombie extraction shooter, where players enter the Liberty Grand Center to loot gear, fight zombies and other players, and escape before toxic gas floods the building. Gameplay uses a class system with different roles: strong melee combat, crafting, and high risk, since dying means losing all carried gear.
I have an idea, if you're up for it, but...
Project Songbird is a first-person psychological horror game where players control Dakota, a musician struggling with writer's block who isolates in a remote Appalachian cabin to work on a new album. Gameplay includes stealth, light combat, and puzzles, with movement between natural forest areas and disturbing dreamlike spaces. A permadeath system adds risk to encounters, and player actions influence how the story ends, with a strong focus on narrative and cinematic presentation.
The directions, and we'll give the guy notice that you could be staying all next month. I just thought maybe you'd like to take the time away to get an album out. A new, classic Neon Songbird album. Now, the place isn't exactly 5-star. We're living a bit off the grid, but, I don't know. You can show everyone that you've still got it. What do you say?
The Occultist is a first-person game where players control paranormal investigator Alan Rebels as he searches for his missing father on the abandoned island of Godstone. Gameplay relies on stealth and puzzle solving, with no direct combat as players avoid threats and move through dangerous areas. A mystical pendulum is the main tool, used to interact with the environment through several abilities that help solve puzzles and uncover the island's dark past, tied to cult rituals and experiments.
To you living in new surroundings,
Reanimal is a co-op survival game by Tarsier Studios where a brother and sister search a twisted island to rescue missing friends. Gameplay is built around cooperation, stealth, and environmental puzzles, with players moving across land and water together while avoiding dangerous creatures instead of fighting them. Progress depends on teamwork and timing, with story details revealed through locations, encounters, and visual clues linked to the island's dark past.
I know you won't forget us. Good night, and good luck to you all.
Masz. Wstrętna, wijąca się i oślizgła masz.
Holstin is a psychological survival horror game set in a small Polish town in the early 1990s, where players control Tomasz searching for a missing friend during a strange outbreak. Gameplay uses classic survival horror ideas like limited ammo, item management, and puzzles, with the camera switching between a top-down view and a third-person combat view. Progress depends on careful fighting, smart resource use, and investigating the town's disturbing events.
Widzę, że nie zbyt ci skacze.
Kreska, czy zrobię jazdę próbną? Tam jest fajna trasa.
Proszę tego nie robić.
Kurwa mać, daj kobiecie trochę prywatności.
Cholera jasna, proszę pani!
Przemyśl to. Może będziesz tego żałował.
Shadowman Darque Legacy is a third-person action horror game where players control Jack Boniface, a new Shadowman tasked with keeping balance between the world of the living and the world of the dead. Gameplay uses close-range melee combat, supernatural weapons, and brutal encounters with monsters, along with light character upgrades that unlock new abilities. A key mechanic lets players shift between two parallel realms to solve puzzles and progress through dark and dangerous locations.
What the?
Deepest Fear is a first-person sci-fi horror shooter where players control Dr. Danny Carroll inside a flooded underwater facility called Neptune while searching for answers linked to her father. Gameplay mixes shooting, survival mechanics, crafting, and problem-solving, with a key system where water reacts in real time and enemies can emerge from any flooded area. Progress depends on managing resources, using the environment carefully, and dealing with constant threats shaped by the facility's shifting water and tight spaces.
Hello, Noah. A Pacific submarine station has gone dark. Last report suggests miners dug too deep.
Cthulhu: The Cosmic Abysses is a first-person game where players control Noah, an investigator sent to find out why miners disappeared deep under the ocean. Gameplay is built around investigation, puzzle solving, and story choices, with a sanity system that reacts to strange and disturbing events. An AI companion helps guide progress as players uncover secrets inside the sunken city of R'lyeh while dealing with growing mental pressure.
Welcome to Pit Station, Noah.
What the hell happened here?
Bringing me to where you are.
This is strange. It doesn't feel right.
Ill is a first-person action game set inside a large research fort taken over by a strange and dangerous force. Gameplay focuses on intense combat, realistic physics, and unpredictable enemies, with strong attention on weapon handling, upgrades, and inventory management. Players use the environment to solve problems and fight grotesque creatures that react to damage, sound, and movement, keeping pressure high throughout the game. Liminal Point is an isometric psychological game where players control Lyra, a former rock star searching for a missing bandmate on the foggy island of Ashen Point. Gameplay uses limited inventory, item management, and puzzles. With careful movement through places like old buildings and underground areas, the story slowly unfolds through strange events and locations that play with memory and reality. The Sinking City 2 is a third-person Lovecraftian game set in a flooded version of Arkham during the 1920s. Gameplay puts more weight on combat, resource management, and survival, with firearms, melee attacks, limited supplies, and changing flood levels that affect movement and danger. Players move through ruined streets by foot and boat, while uncovering a standalone story tied to strange creatures and personal loss.
So this is Minakami Village.
Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake rebuilds the original game with updated visuals, improved sound, and refined controls, while keeping the same story about twin sisters Mio and Mayu in the haunted Minakami Village. Gameplay still centers on using the camera obscura to fight spirits, now expanded with new camera options that change how encounters work. New areas, side stories, and a mechanic where Mio can hold Mayu's hand add more depth to movement, puzzles, and the bond between the sisters.
Twins, where are they? The ritual. Why did you run? Accept the fate of the sacrifice!
The festival failed. It's all because we ran away. Mayu will be together forever.
Crisol Theater of Idols is a first-person game where players control Gabriel as he moves through a cursed island inspired by Spanish folklore and cult rituals. Combat uses a blood-based system where firing weapons drains health, forcing careful balance between attacking and staying alive. Progress comes from solving puzzles, upgrading weapons, and managing blood during fights against strange enemies tied to dark religious imagery.
For our first episode, I hope you've got your sea legs engaged because we're sailing to Tormentosa, an island cursed with eternal storms and facing the wrath of a powerful entity. Tormentosa really does have it all. Beautiful beaches, plenty of places for great food and drink, and welcoming locals. Okay, maybe I lied about the last part. Tormentosa is an island off the coast of Hispania, a rich and strikingly twisted version of Spain carefully crafted by Madrid-based Vermilla Studios. Creative director David Tornero and his team wanted to make sure that the town itself is as much a character in Crisol as our leading man Gabriel, and to make sure that Spanish culture bleeds into every location. The word Crisol actually means crucible, and the studio has created Tormentosa as a melting pot of different influences from across the country in different eras. This means you'll see Romanesque, Baroque, and of course Gothic architecture combining to bring to life a wholly unique but still definitively Spanish world. But to truly understand Tormentosa, it's time for some lore. Two warring religions have called the island home over the years, the Cult of the Sea and the Church of the Sun. The island was once named Aurora, full of those who worshipped the flames of the sun god. By the time we get there though, the Cult of the Sea has taken over, and we see lives that are shaped entirely by water. Anchors loom on the skyline, scales are the order of the day when it comes to decor, and those who worship the sun have been labelled heretics and disappeared into the shadows. Playing as Gabriel, a follower of the sun god, we enter a city that has desperately remodelled to get away from its past. But you'll still find history of these warring religions as you wander the streets, including in blood memories that let us catch a glimpse of what came before.
We will calm the waters.
Given that Gabriel needs blood to shoot and stay alive, you'll have to absorb nearby corpses of animals to keep your health up. But these aren't your average livestock. Scales cover their bodies as something in the water has warped and mutated them into land-sea hybrids, something that the town is clearly fiercely proud of. Delicious. And finally, it only seems right to give you a sneak peek at the central hub of Crisol, the fair. Vermilla wanted you to have at least one place where you can take a breather and put down that spiked pistol for a while. And a traditional Spanish fair seemed like a perfect place to do that. All structured around a beautiful carousel, the fair lets you catch up with lone survivors on the island, do some much needed upgrades, and yes, play some carnival games. Each one is seeped in the lore of Tormentosa, with this one letting you literally extinguish the flames of the sun with the water of the sea. So that's a quick behind-the-scenes glimpse at Tormentosa and the world you'll be entering in Crisol Theater of Idols, which is coming to consoles and PC in 2026. You can wishlist it now on Steam. And don't forget to subscribe to Blumhouse Games to make sure you keep up with all of our news and updates from our dev teams.
Silver Pines is a 2.5D game where players control investigator Redwalker searching for a missing musician in a strange and quiet small town. Gameplay uses limited resources, puzzle solving, and careful combat or avoidance of hostile creatures, with new tools opening access to previously blocked areas. Progress comes from managing supplies, learning enemy patterns, and uncovering secrets tied to the town's disturbing events.
I won't come back as long as I live,
Rules of engagement. The Gray State is a first-person extraction shooter where players enter a dangerous pocket dimension to collect artifacts while fighting monsters and other player squads. Gameplay mixes tactical shooting with class-based abilities, letting players choose different builds that change how they survive encounters. Each run is about deciding when to escape safely or stay longer for better rewards, with constant pressure from shifting threats and rival teams. Resident Evil Requiem takes place years after Raccoon City, following FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft as she investigates her mother's death in the ruined city, with help from Leon S. Kennedy. Gameplay switches between stealth-focused sections and heavier combat depending on the character being used. Players manage limited resources, solve puzzles, and avoid a dangerous stalker that reacts to sound and light.
It hasn't been easy. But after much effort, here we finally are.
Who are you?
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
Talk to me. Is this one like the others? And it's not post-mortem lividity. Hey, I just got a report of a missing police officer. It might be unrelated, but he disappeared near where the 5th body was found.
Through you, Elpis can finally be set free.
The team has settled on a person of interest. Someone with ties to Umbrella. Victor Gideon.
Grace! Grace!
Victor purchased a building after Umbrella went under. I'll send you the address.
Welcome. Dr. Gideon has been expecting you.
You there, Leon?
Yeah. Hey, over here. FBI. What are you doing here?
Would you like to see what's hidden under the hood?
Don't do anything stupid.
Me? Never.
Pathologic 3 places players in the role of a doctor trying to save a town from a deadly plague within a strict 12-day limit. Gameplay revolves around examining patients, making difficult medical decisions, managing time, and dealing with limited information where people may lie or hide symptoms. Progress depends on careful diagnosis, choosing who to help, and understanding how each decision changes the town and its future.
And people lie. They need more than a doctor. A woman brought in by her mother, not allowed to speak. A student faking symptoms for love. Each saved life brings you closer to a cure. So you are leaving the ward, stepping into bedrooms, basements, stranger places. Could a teacher be poisoned during a game of tea? Could someone hide what exactly they gave to the children? Will you treat symptoms, search for the truth, or listen to your heart? The choice isn't to save everyone, it's to save each one. Pathologic 3 holds more stories than before. To untangle them, you must dive inward, sifting through your own thoughts, piecing clues together. Just remember, conclusions can be wrong. Every story has more than one ending. I wonder, is there another one for me? It's up to you, player.
This place has been buried for centuries. Today is our chance.
Dark Mass is a first-person game set deep underwater, where players control Alice, a deep-sea explorer trapped inside a sunken manor found beneath a shipwreck. Gameplay involves slow movement, puzzle solving based on old ritual punishments, and avoiding a dangerous presence named Silas while searching for a way out. Players stay in contact with Alice's brother through a walkie-talkie, and choices made during key moments affect how the story unfolds.
I'm gonna try to get in. I'm hooking up the camera now. Let me know if you're getting the feed.
Behind you! There's something behind you!
I've never seen anything like this before. What was that? I think I'm not alone down here.
I Hate This Place is an isometric game, set in a cursed area where reality twists and dangerous creatures hunt by sound. Gameplay centers on scavenging resources, crafting tools, building shelters, and using stealth to survive changing day and night conditions. Players prepare during the day and hide or defend themselves at night, using noise, traps, and careful movement to avoid deadly encounters.
Looks like we're not in Kansas anymore. I'm looking for my friend Lou.
Perhaps on her own path. Unreachable for you yet.
I still think that I saw something. A silhouette. Somebody was in the house. I want the truth. I need the truth. Hell. What is this place?
With Earth dying, we looked to the stars for a new home. Humanity's future depended on...
Directive 8020 is a sci-fi horror game where players control a crew after their ship crashes on a distant planet, and a dangerous alien begins copying human forms. Gameplay mixes story choices with real-time movement, stealth, and tense survival moments, where decisions can lead to characters living or dying. Players switch between multiple crew members, manage trust under pressure, and use a rewind system to revisit key choices as the situation grows more unstable.
What would Stafford say?
Never forget why you started. Would you look at that? Gets me every time.
Come on, Galileo. What a mess.
Understatement of the year.
What is that?
Coolant, maybe?
What we're doing here is a vital step into a new tomorrow.
Okay, now you are sounding like one of William's training videos.
We have always questioned whether we're alone in the universe. It's only when we come face to face with death that we get our answer. However connected the universe may be, in the end, we all die alone.
Scarlet Lake is a retro-style game where players control Detective Ben Murphy as he searches for his missing wife in a strange, restricted town. Gameplay uses an isometric camera, limited inventory, puzzle solving, and careful combat against mutated enemies, with weapons that can be upgraded at workbenches. Progress depends on managing supplies, improving gear, and uncovering secrets tied to government experiments and the town's dark past. Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival is a first-person game where players control Aiden Lynch, who uses the Genesis configuration puzzle box to survive deadly encounters. Gameplay mixes direct combat, stealth, puzzles, and crafting, with the puzzle box granting special abilities that change how fights and situations are handled. Players face Cenobites, cultists, and other threats, with encounters built around careful resource use and intense, close-range action.
Your inability to comprehend these sights. But you call for us, and you can no longer return. You can only journey deeper into hell and witness the infinite terror within. The reckoning will be...
Drowned Lake is a fishing-based game where players investigate a mysterious lake tied to strange disappearances and local folklore. Gameplay switches between moving across the lake from an isometric view and close-up investigation sections, where puzzles are solved in first person. Fishing is used to gather clues and items, but actions create noise that can attract dangerous threats hiding in the water and darkness. Active Matter is a hardcore extraction shooter where players enter unstable zones to collect valuable material while fighting monsters, strange anomalies, and other players. Gameplay is built around realistic weapons, tactical movement, and surviving areas where physics and gravity can change without warning. Progress comes from successful extractions, upgrading gear, and building a base that supports future raids and long-term survival.
For all we know, maybe they never left.
The Dropouts is a choice-driven psychological mystery game set in a troubled boarding school where students have gone missing for years. Players control Lou, a new student who explores the school, talks to others, and makes decisions that shape how events unfold. Gameplay mixes 3D movement with story scenes shown through hand-drawn comic panels, while personal fears and chosen skills affect both the story and how tense moments play out.
The other students call them the Dropouts. It's a bit heartless if you ask me. It's not like they had a choice.
The most disturbing case I witnessed? Lou Revere, for sure.
The Butcher's Village is a first-person psychological game where players control Murtaza after a car accident leaves him stranded in heavy rain and fog. Gameplay is driven by story and atmosphere, with slow movement through strange locations that shift from normal to disturbing. Progress comes from solving puzzles and paying attention to sound and visual changes as reality slowly breaks down around the player. Crathos Deep is a narrative-driven game where players take the role of a marine investigator searching for missing Arctic research stations beneath the ice. Gameplay involves piloting a submarine through dark underwater areas and using a tethered drone to move through tight spaces, solve physics-based problems, and uncover clues. The story unfolds through environments and discoveries, building slow tension around an ancient alien presence awakening in the depths.
What about the surface of Mars? There were two of the bottom of the sea. You may discover things down here that clash with your view of the world. Things you like to dismiss or distance yourself from. If, or rather, when that happens, I must simply urge you to keep an open mind.
We were driving home after a long day at the lab when chaos broke out.
The ninth Charnel is a first-person game where players control scientist Michael J. Jones after becoming trapped in a remote valley ruled by violent cults. Gameplay mixes stealth, exploration, limited combat, and resource management, with many situations pushing players to avoid enemies instead of fighting them. Progress comes from navigating dangerous areas, solving puzzles, and making choices that affect how the story and characters survive.